Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to more action from the Colin Coleman Memorial Tournament in the U11B division. We have the Lewisville Lightning, who won their game at 7 a.m. sharp, and they're taking on the East Hants Penguins.
And they score right off the bat, make it 1-0. Talk about a quick start. Alexandre Couture breaks it out of nowhere and fires it to the top shelf.
Well, we talked about it last game about some dominant Lewisville teams, and it seems this U11B team has lost absolutely no rhythm as they just walk in and snipe one. 1-0 Lightning.
I find it hard to believe these guys can get up at 5, 6 in the morning to go play a 7 a.m. game. Not only win that, but come just a couple hours later, 12 o'clock, and come back and start with a goal in the first second. These 10 and 9-year-olds, they got some energy to them.
Well, these early schedules, in a sense, if you have a very well endurance team, it can actually work out in your favor because you'll have more hours of rest going into Saturday where you'll only have to play one game.
Now walking in is Gilroy, the Lightning. I tried to put it to the blue line there. Gilroy again, backhand to the slot. There's the shot, it just misses wide. Brody Pilon in the net, having to face two tough shots to start it off. Walking in is Campbell. Campbell skating up the right wing. He gets taken down. Looks like the Lightning player also with it. There's a quick shot to the net. That was denied by Lagacé. Lightning, they storm back the other way. There's a strong poke check there by McKnight. Penguins, they go back the other way, trying to find it loose there. Was Haywood Pickles. Lightning trying to take over. Giroir finding his way into the corner, trying to get a backhand off. Haywood Pickles trying to go after it. It's kept in at the line barely here by Bayless. Now taken up by the Lightning. Lockyer. Owen taken out by Mann. They battle for it right along the red line. Godbout Savoie into the zone. Can't quite keep his footing. There's a pass almost picked off. It's in between a couple feet. There's a backhander towards the net. Blocked in the skates of Henderson Mann. The Penguins, they regroup. Gilroy out of the zone. Jace Gilroy. Headmans the puck. Walking in. Here's the shot. And the save there by Lagacé out in the cage. The Penguins find it at center. Haywood Pickles going towards the bench. Stops, flips that one up. Blocked in at the red line. That one taken, spun, and Haynes goes back the other way. They're just offside, so the Penguins are going to have to regroup here. It's Campbell moving that one back. Here's a steal. Walking in. Godbout Savoie waiting to his backhand. And that one right to the net of Pilon. And then another try on the backhand. And they score. That one went to the side of the net. No one really knew where that had gone. Noah Lockyer finding that one right in the high slot and buries it on his backhand.
Well, we saw a goal like that earlier today. I think it was the same U11B group. The quick shot that just trickled in after it went off a blocker and an arm.
And a bit of luck goes Lewisville's way. It's a 2-0 lead already in the first couple minutes. In the middle, Desprez shoveling that one into the zone. Back for it is Pittman. Adam Pittman around the boards. Here's Taylor getting his pocket pick. Desprez, the shot to the net. That one's gloved down by Pilon. Yeah, and Brody Pilon has been just pummeled with shots. so far in this hockey game. Moving to the line. It's Toda. Unable to get control of that one. It's cleared into the zone. Lightning are going to have to get onside here. Working down in the corners, Pittman trying to throw that one up against the wall. That one gets by LeBlanc. Back down, it'll go for Pittman. Pittman around the net. Waits. Merzel on the left side. Gets by McKnight. Waiting for it in the middle. Here's Toda. Now on to Couture. Taken by McKnight. Zoe McKnight will try to put one to the net. That one will find its way into the corner. Here's Pittman again. In the corner, recovering. The backhander against the boards. That one gets by Connor and will now find its way to the opposite side. The pass into some open ice. It'll find its way just outside the zone and offside. The call will be against the Lewisville Lightning. Right off the face-off to be taken in by the Penguins. Haywood Pickles stepping in, cutting to the left, waiting and firing, and that one off a stick before he get to the net. The Lightning, they try to reverse and take it back the other way. Here's Lockyer, has the latest goal. Gets it stripped off his stick as it goes to the middle. Hants unable to control, but he does get it into the zone. That one off the boards, off the leg of the official and right to the middle. The Lightning trying to break in. Moving in is Potter. Potter to the middle, trying to shovel that one across. So for Hants, he now finds it in the corner. Turning here at the blue line, waiting, firing. That one just wide of the net. The Lightning break out. They'll shoot it into the zone. You're at the side of the goal, taken away by the Penguins. Here's Bayless with a nice couple moves, gets by a couple. Bayless again, continues to the zone. We'll leave a backhander off as the Penguins will be able to get into the zone. Hants will find it in the corner. Looking up towards the blue line, the pass sent. That went under the reach of Haywood Pickles. Here's the saucer pass up. Could be a break. That's a foot race for it. Going onto the net of Pilon. And that one just steered away. As Benson Poirier just half a stride away from being able to get a good shot on there. Penguins, they leave the zone again. Here's Campbell with possession. Has Hants with him. Campbell lets one rip. And that one off the boards. Hants finding him behind the net. Looking out in front of his backhand. Trying to shovel it to the middle. There it is in the slot. They score!
The East Hants Penguins are rewarded for their tenacity on the puck, picking up the loose change and cashing it in. And the Lewisville Lightning lead is cut in half as we enter the final 5 of this opening frame.
And I believe that was Jacob Haywood Pickles, who was waiting at the right place at the right time in the slot and buries it for the Penguins to get a 2-1 lead. The Lightning regrouping. Desprez working into the zone. Taken down as the puck will find its way behind the net. Rimdell on the boards. Caught in by Campbell. Campbell working up. He's given a bit of a bump there by Toda. Still working their way behind the net. The Penguins, they move it around the boards. It's going to be captured here by Campbell. Campbell waits to the line. Here's the shot from far. That was blocked in a pair of legs. Another try. They battle for it. There was a scrum loose there. The Lightning able to safely direct that one to the side. Campbell skating after this one, trying to lift the stick, goes sliding almost into the net, but the puck just slides wide. At the line, they're going to try it again. Here's the shot. The rebound went just in between the feet there of a Penguin. as it's now in the corner to the middle, and that one redirected to the side and behind the net. Back with the blue line again. They'll try. Here's Bayless losing the puck. Now the Lightning have a rush the other way. Stepping into the middle. Here's Toda. Lifts one just over the net. Walking in is McKnight. Trying to deliver a poke check. McKnight with it out in front, the pass. And that one intercepted by Campbell. A nice pass made there. There's no one waiting at the right place at the right time. Here's Couture. Sent around the boards for McKnight. McKnight throwing that one against the wall. Trying to get this one out. Just barely unable to. In the middle, Campbell trying to get a toe drag off. That one recovered by the Lightning. As they shoot this one down. The wave icing off. It's Pittman. Going down for the Penguins, hitting the brakes. Trying a couple moves. Might get it picked off, but still maintains possession now as we get to the last couple minutes here in the first. Shot up along the boards, blocked by Jake McKnight. Haywood Pickles. He throws that one up against the wall, kept in by Lockyer. There's a poke check made there by Connor, as he'll be able to throw that one down in the zone. The Penguins rush up at speed. Here's the shot, and that one over the net. The Penguins coming with relentless pressure. Down in the last couple minutes of the first, they've had a great go in these past couple minutes. The Lightning down the other way. Pass to the middle. And intercepted for a whistle. 2:26 to go in period one. The attempted clear, blocked off a Lewisville body. Waiting, Poirier, going up to Desprez. That one slid off his stick and backhanded all the way down. Here's Doucette chasing after it for Lewisville. Doucette passing that one over. In the corner now. They try to bring it up, taken by Desprez. Desprez moving up the right wing. He was poke checked. The Penguins go back the other way before again it is stolen once more. Taken at center. The Penguins trying to move this one in. They step in. There's the shot. And that one almost got by Lagacé in the cage, but he's able to extend his pad and send that one into the corner. Lightning across the red line. Moving this one in. Behind the net, recovered by Bayless. Bayless with the breakout pass up the wall over for Hants. Hants stepping up, unable to get to that. Here's Toda. Moving back with it behind his own net. The Lightning come back. Here's McKnight stopping. Zoe McKnight trying to get that to the middle. It's Bayless able to recover and send that one up over for Mann. Mann across for Campbell. Campbell tried to send that back for Mann as it's tied up right at the blue line. Kian Toda back with it for the Lightning, circling his zone before shooting that one up. That one's too many men, and an unfortunate change as the Lightning are going to head to the power play. So it's going to be a bench minor here coming up against East Hants.
Well, too many men is not a penalty you see often, but it's one of the most detrimental ones you can get because of how bad it can happen in a game. I mean, you could have all the momentum and then one skate on the ice. Pretty bad news for you.
And right there, as you can see, a Penguin went to go off and change. And they got caught on that one. We have 42 seconds. There's a quick shot. Save. And Pilon's going to play that one out. Behind the net now, little backhander from Gilroy. Moving that one across over for Mann. Mann waits, hovers, and puts that one behind the net. Looking here's Gilroy. Gilroy through his own end. Gets through a couple. Gets it stolen. Here's Lockyer. Back with Gilroy. Gilroy into the zone. Waiting. The Lightning finding it impossible to knock this guy off the puck. Up against the wall, Lockyer has one goal as they get through the center. And there's the buzzer to end our first period of play, 2-1 in favor of the Lewisville Lightning. Stick along in MST for period 2. Bring the lane, Geo Aragon, K Arena in Lewisville, 2026 Colin Coleman U11 and U13 competitive tournament. And here we go as we get set to drop the puck on period 2. Lewisville still on a power play, just under a minute and a half still left on that. The referee having a conversation at the timekeeper's booth, waiting to get the nod to drop the puck here on period 2, and we will. Desprez in the face-off circle. That's taken away by the Penguins. They enter the blue line. Desprez taking it for the Lightning. Working in, Desprez on the left wing. There's a shot. And that one's steered away, taken by Connor. Connor trying to work his way behind the net. Worked back by East Hants in the left corner. The shot out of the zone, taken by Coutil. He'll stop it at the red line before chucking that one back into the zone. Penguins in the corner. Coutil still at the line, waiting. The pass across. Here's the shot from Abuagina, and that one just missed wide. Still multiple chances. The Lightning doing a great job on this power play to keep it in. Here it is again. There's the shot from Poirier, and that one didn't get on net. And East Hants doing a good job at blocking shots so far, not letting the pucks get to the net. Connor looking for it. Put to the net. Desprez the shot. There's the save. The rebound. They look for it. And that one somehow stays out of the net. Two quick shots. Save there by Pilar. And there's another one. Another good save by Pilar. He's been peppered so far as this power play does come to an end. And what a power play effort by the Lightning. Right on in front. They look. There's the shot from McKnight. Just missing wide, or I believe that had gone off the pad of Pilar. A shot from the blue line attempted there by Abuagina. Lightning again. Another backhand try. That one sails wide. Jake McKnight with that one. To the line. Waiting is Couture. Unable to get to that one. He shoots that one down into the zone. The Penguins work around the cage as they try to get a clean breakout. It's picked and stolen. LeBlanc back in there for the Lightning. LeBlanc, the backhander towards the net. And that one swept away and outside the zone. And that looks like that's Abuagina on to chase that one. A crossover for Couture. Into the zone. Walking towards the net. Here's Jake McKnight trying to get a shot off. Can't quite. Here's Couture to the net. Stopped in. The Lightning with relentless pressure through these first 3 minutes here of the second period. Penguins might get their chance now. Stripped in the middle, working in. What a move. Hayward Pickles trying to find his way to the net. There's the shot. And another good save there by Lagacé. Moved around the wall by Toda. Stopped in at the ringette line. Moving out, here's a Buagina. Stepping in past White. Stopping there, it's flipped in. On the chase and recovers Alex Couture. Along the far wall, taken away by Toda. Toda with speed, stepping in along the left wing. There's the shot. Here's a save. The rebound, Zoe McKnight looking for it, but was unable to get to that one. A great rush by the Lightning as the Penguins, they come back the other way. Dangerous chance incoming. There's the shot put to the net. And that one off the side of the net wide. Another chance. Hayward Pickles, the spin around. Save, then the rebound. They score! And the Penguins do find the back of the net. Dawson Haynes waiting right out in front for the rebound off the spinning shot from Jacob. Hayward Pickles, he pokes it past Lagacé. And we are now tied up at 2-2. Almost 4 minutes into the third. And to note now, we now have a goaltending change for the Penguins. Oliver Earl now in net as they are going to rotate at midway through this game. Shot across there by Potter. The Penguins look behind the net. Potter behind the net. Waits, looks out in front. Potter to the back door. And almost a chance there for Campbell as he tries to slap one in the net. That one's not going to get there. He's going to get his own rebound. Campbell waiting side of the net, the shot. Another try right out in front of the backhander by Potter. And this one finds its way to the line. Shot into the zone. Good boost Savoie trying to look for it. It was behind him. Now that was someone up to Lockyer trying to get outside the zone. He's met at the line there, but they're unable to get out. Good boost Savoie chasing on it. There's a shot patted away by Lagacé. Good boost Savoie again. He gets out of the zone, tipped by Lockyer. A diving attempt there from man at the line. Could be a break going back the other way with speed. Up there was Jake McKnight, and he was unable to get past the defense. Lewisville keeps this one in at the line. Waiting, stolen, Potter in his own end. Going towards the boards now, being angled out. Back to the defense. And that one out of the zone. Could be a rush here for East Hants. 2-on-0, but they're in just offside. And that one will end there. What definitely was a 2-on-0. And there's the chance right at the side earlier from Wyatt Campbell. A beautiful backdoor pass. And just couldn't get a hold of it. Less than 7 to go in period 2. Stopped it at the line. Looking down low, it's Poirier. Held in now, but barely. Here was Desprez trying to walk the line. Now finds his way down. Gould in the middle. With a little whack onto that one as it's finally poked free and sent to the East Hants defense. Wicking their way up through the neutral zone now. They walk in. Stepping in the backhand of the net. Saved by Lagacé. And that will be a whistle as these shots are now evened up here in this one. Offensive zone draw for the Penguins. One by the Lightning. Here's Toda trying to make his way through the zone. He got knocked down. It's going to be the Penguins that clear this one in. Delayed offside. So it's Hayward Pickles that'll have to retreat back to his own end. In the middle. Shot back in by the Penguins. It'll be behind the net of Lagacé. Trying to poke that one up was Couture. Toda there as well. That one almost taken over, but a Penguin fell right near the boards. Couture up the wall. The shot to the net. Played away by Lagacé. Going behind is Couture again. He'll pass that one out over for Leblanc. Leblanc up for Toda. Tota skating in, trying to work his way deep in the zone. He'll get there. Tota waiting behind the net. Doing a nice little toe drag to keep possession. And now goes up to the wall, kept in by Couture. Couture trying to get to the middle, and the backhander will find its way back to the Lewisville end. It's recovered by Zoe McKnight. McKnight waiting in her own zone. Makes a nice move to get out in the neutral end. McKnight has Tota with her. McKnight, the shot to the net. And that one was just wide, almost poke checked by Earl. Another shot missing wide. Zoe McKnight trying to pin it up against the boards, and that one's stolen from her. And we have a penalty by the looks of it. Or potentially a hand pass. And no, it'll be Zoe McKnight that heads to the box for a hook. So the Penguins will head to the power play as Brody Pilon now goes down the tunnel. And the Penguins are making some noise here as they try to get the lead here on the man advantage. There's a shot blocked. Good Boussavois getting that one outside the zone. Penguins recover. They go back the other way. Here's the shot that was blocked. Another try. Ibbotson trying to find its way to the middle. Good Boussavois around the boards. Out of the reach of Lockyer. Kept in the zone or not. That was Henderson Mann who couldn't quite get a paddle on that one. Recovering in his own end now. It's Campbell. Cycling around. Campbell moving in. Pochek there. Good Boussavois waits. Will chip that one across. Out of the reach of Ibbotson. Now put to the net there by Amiro was blocked. That one will go all the way down the ice. Looking for it. There's Bayless. Bayless getting that one behind the net. Sent up to the ring-out line. In the middle now. Penguins bring it in. The clear off a skate of a defender. Here's the shot towards the net. That one just missed wide, not by much. Haynes waits. Taken out by Poitier. Poitier waiting with Haynes out to the line. This one's just going to get outside the zone now. And here could be a break. Walking in. There's the shot. Save is there by Earl. Trying to recover. It's a scrum for it in the slot. And that one somehow stays outside the net. A great shorthanded opportunity by the Lightning. And there you can see the last bit of the initial attempt and just a full out scrum for it, where it is somehow covered 2-2, period 2, just over 3 minutes to go and just over 30 seconds on an East Hants power play. Penguins recover with it in their own end. It's a clean breakout as they get to the middle. That one's stopped in by Dupré. Loose, multiple people fighting for it, but down the ice it'll go. Brought back by the Penguins behind the net. Looking for it there was Connor, rimmed up against the boards. Almost held in here by Abu Aguina. And we got Zoe McKnight out of the box. And there's Dupré taken down at center. The Lightning come back the other way. 2.5 to go in period 2. And still an even 2-2 game. As you can see on the camera there, it's U11B Lewisville Lightning warming up. Here the Penguins, odd man rush, walking in. Hayward Pickles the shot, they score! And make it his second of the game. Jacob Haywood Pickles sends that one to the back of the net, making it 3-2 in favor of the Penguins now. They've gotten 3 unanswered. Walking in and getting a shot off. That one finds its way to the back of the net. So now a 1-goal lead for the East Hants Penguins. The Lightning bring it back. Tota stepping in. There's the shot. Turned away by Earl. Off the pad and into the corner it goes. The Lightning with it at the line. Poked up as the Penguins bring it back in. Just gets by Couture as he now has to chase in the corner. Here's Toda around for Abuagina. Continued around the wall over for LeBlanc. LeBlanc, head man for Toda. Toda skating up, trying to cut to the middle, and he was swept away as the Penguins, they now rush back. The Lightning with it in their own end. They giving stabs at it behind the back, and the back and right in front of the shot, the save there. And how did that one stay out? Lagacé able to make a point-blank save as that one somehow stayed out of the net. And the shots very tight, as well as the score here in this one.
East Hants finding their way back into this game after some early domination in the early few minutes by the Lewisville Lightning.
Exactly. What a second period they've had. They've now scored 3 unanswered to Lewisville Lightning's first 2, and I believe they're going to now go on the PK. 56.2 to go. That is heading to the box. It looks to be Wyatt Campbell. We are going to see a Lewisville power play right in the middle. There's the trip.
And no better time to have one. I mean, getting that quick response, you have 1 minute to score.
That would be a great way to end off the first period here for the Lightning with the last second goal. Shot down immediately to the opposite end of the ice, so a good start to the penalty kill for East Hants. Poitier battling down with Haynes. Taken away, and it looks like we have another penalty here. And this one is going against the Lightning, however. So we're going to see some 5-on-5 coming up, or some 4-on-4, excuse me. Francis Gould heads to the box. And they're just getting a bit too rough from the corner. That one going to lead to now a 4-on-4. A pretty lengthy one at that. Abuagina able to kick that one over to the far boards. In his own end, Abuagina unable to clear. Shot back in. Here's Couture. Going behind his net now. Waits. Almost foams at his goal line. And what a big collision there as Couture now tries to find his way out. Pass in the middle. Waiting Haynes trying to get a one-timer off. And just was unable to connect on that one. Dawson Haynes skating back. Recovered back here by the Penguins defense. Going around the net with not much time. It looks like they're just going to let the clock drain out here, as that is the final of period 2. 3-2 in favor of the East Hants Penguins. Stick along MST, Marina Lane, Diego Aragon, in the 2026 Colin Coleman U11 U13 competitive tournament at the K Arena. And back for the third period, starting off with some 4-on-4 action. Here in this one, a quick whistle for an offside. There's a quick shot on net, covered up by Earl. So 2 quick whistles to start off this period. Face off to the left of Earl at the line. Waiting, there's a shot deflected, almost right on net. That would have been an incredibly unfortunate bounce. Going down now, Campbell. Finding it here for the Penguins up top to the line. Waiting, there's a shot, and that one will be redirected into the corner. This one cleared all the way down, not going to be called icing. As we now have a brief East Hants power play coming up. And they walk in, delayed offside, they touch it up there. And now not too much time left on the East Hants power play. And then we'll go to some 5-on-5. We'll see for how long. Penguins move it back. Here's Pittman in reverse. Up the wall now for Campbell. Campbell will dump it in. This one not going to go for icing. It's taken behind the net by Mann. Mann out in front. Blocked it just out of the line. Ever so close to holding that one in. As we get down now to 10 minutes left to go here in the game. Campbell stopping that one. Will dump it in. Looking behind the net, there's Doucette. At the side of the net. Lightning try to kick this one out. Outside the blue line it'll go. Off the boards to the middle. Trying to bring that one in was Jake McKnight. Campbell now skating up with it. Moving in, waits and shoots. And that one gloved down by Lagacé, and he'll hold on. Penguins with an offensive zone draw. They've been keeping up tons of pressure so far in the game. Shot in by the Penguins. Just over 9 minutes to go here in period 3. The Lightning looking for one. Here's a nice move to get into the zone. Working in, could be a rush here. Great defense there. Out of nowhere, I believe that's Bo Sokolik. Coming on defense to help out with the rush there. Working around was Gilroy. That one got caught up. Desprez will shoot that one in front. No one there to bang it home, so outside the zone they'll go. Skating for it, Giroir. Unable to get to that one. Stepping in, Sokolik. Unable to get a shot off at the line. Waiting, Bayless, the shot was blocked. Another try working out here. Mann trying to pull the trigger. That one caught out in traffic. They battle for it. Outside, another try, and that was Haywood Pickles, who couldn't quite get a hold of a rolling puck. The Lightning move back, could be a break. Walking in, there's the shot, save there by Earl, and he'll hold on to a bit of a windmill after.
Earl with probably the most important save of this game so far. I mean, absolutely robbing the Lewisville attacker on the 1-versus-1 with the glove save.
And there's another look at it, and flash the leather afterwards for good measure. And Oliver Earl, what a save here in the third period. Zoe McKnight, backhander towards the net. That one played pinball in some feet. Haynes trying to get it out, blocked in. Here's Bayless, now with some room. He gets it out with a couple dangles. Bayless working into the red line. He'll elect for the safe decision and dump this one in where it's got in here by Couture. Couture finding this one deep. Working around, there's Toda. Toda going around the line. He gets this one out, or he doesn't. That one caught in his feet. Could be a break the other way. Here's Haynes stepping in. His forehand, the shot. That one just missed the net. And what a huge chance. Zoe McKnight, the backhand of the blue line. This one gets out of the zone, where it's shot in behind the net. Abu Aguina recovering for Lewisville. Now has some heavy pressure, having to evade traffic. Taken out here by Toda. Toda stepping in along the red line. Now in the zone, here's Toto. What nice moves on his backhand to the side of the net. He takes a hard crash into the boards afterwards. He's luckily gonna get up unscathed. And this one at the line, kept in. He's going to go to the bench, however, definitely feeling it. The shot to the net. Save and covered there by Earl. As the clock slowly ticks down in this one-goal game. The Lewisville Lightning are 1-0. East Hants, I believe, are playing their first game. Or my apologies, they are 0-1, looking to come back in a huge way as they took a 2-0 loss to Riverview earlier this morning at the fourplex. And there was a collision right at the blue line, brought back in by the Penguins. Stopping and turning, there's a shot to the front that was denied out before it could get to the slot. Kept in by Connor with a little spin move. Hayward Pickles to the net. Couldn't quite get that one on. The Lightning will be able to clear. Stopped there by Pittman. Pittman, he gets his pocket picked. And the Lightning go back the other way. Stopping and looking to the opposite side was McKnight, unable to get there. Connor, the little flip. That one goes in between some feet. Jake McKnight to the middle. That one picked off, and going back the other way is Haywood Pickles. Lewisville Lightning defense take over as they try to move in, and there's another body to the ground. Haywood Pickles, a nice move to get around one and keep possession. Haywood Pickles stepping into the zone. There's the shot, and that one just goes over Lagacé. There's another try from Campbell. That one in the slot. It's loose in between a pair of feet there from the Lewisville defender, and they are able to get that one off the boards and down the ice without an icing. Pittman circling back there for East Hants. Hitting the brakes behind the net. Pittman around the boards. Picked up by Haywood Pickles. Stopped in there. Hurley was trying to throw that one out in front. Taken back there by Macaulay Connor. Connor waits, he shoots. Saved by Lagacé. And he's able to smother that one up at exactly 5 minutes to go in the third period. So we're down to the final 5 here in the third. Lewisville versus East Hants. A one-goal game here in this huge deciding matchup. Walking in, Depre, here's the shot, and he just missed the net. What a huge chance. Poirier trying to keep that one into the zone. Backhanded in there by Tota. Rimmed around the boards. Caught in there by Sokolik. He'll give that one a pass. Deflected off of Hants all the way down the ice. And it's Lagacé going out to play it, so that one's going to negate the icing. Here's Giroir. Taking it behind the net. Rimmed around the boards. Stopping there. Tota unable to get possession of that. Desprez as well. Put to the net. That one blocked by Gould. Here's Desprez taking control of that. He goes storming to the zone. Walking in. On man rush. Here's Tota on his backhand. Taken down. And we're going to have a call against East Hants.
And this is probably the worst timing to ever take a penalty. I mean, you're up 3-2. And you take a penalty with less than 4 minutes left here. I mean, this game is really coming down to the wire here. East Hants having to lock down and play their best defensive hockey. Lewisville is going to be desperate for that tying goal.
And can't ignore the rush from Kian Tota, excuse me. Going almost end to end and forcing East Hants to pretty much haul him down in order to stop that chance. So 2 minutes of a power play here for Lewisville. Final stages of period 3. Recovered by Tota. The man who drew the penalty now skates up one-on-one. Tota against Bayless. Tota steps in. There's the shot. Earl with the clutch save for the Penguins.
I mean, Earl today has just been Captain Clutch with some amazing saves. I mean, he's been bombarded with shots from everywhere and dangles, and he's come up with big saves all over them.
And those are some big moves being brought today by Oliver Earl. Here's a shot from the line. Earl again will smother that one up with the glove.
Well, if there's a banner for style, I'm sure East Hants would win. I mean, look at those jerseys.
Those are like the Pittsburgh Penguins. An absolutely fire alternate. Here at the line. Stopped. Tota after the pass. There's a shot. Another good save by Earl, standing up and having to play that one off his chest. Ibbotson for the Penguins up against the boards. Skating out. Haywood Pickles skating in all alone. Haywood Pickles, the shot. Lagacé is there to make the save. And what a clutch stop by Lagacé.
Well, I think it's safe to say that this game has honestly become a goaltending duel of big saves on both ends of the ice here.
And Haywood Pickles, not too much better you can do in his situation. And he is just robbed by Dax Lagacé with a beautiful kick save in net. Here come the Lightning, bringing it back up. Could be a 2-on-1. Skating in. Here's Hurley trying to get it to the front, and he fell down after the rush. Pittman trying to hit the puck in midair. Makes a nice move to get to the middle. Passing this one up, held into the zone. This one bounces to the middle. Connor skating outside his zone now. 30 seconds still left to go on the call. The Lightning bringing up the left wing. 2:15 to go in the third. Working in. Hurley looking to the front, trying to center that one out, and almost hit the tape perfectly of Lockyer. It was just out of his reach. Here's the shot. Earl there to make the save. And a whistle there at 2:01. There's just 5 seconds left on the Lewisville Lightning power play. 2:01 left to go in the third. Here, quickly off the draw. Shot in. The Lewisville power play now expires. So now they're down with less than 2 to go, needing a last-second goal. Poitier, fans on the pass, ended up being a fake shot. There's the pass off a skate of the Penguins. And they go back the other direction. Put to the net. Lagacé bobbled it there for a second, but is able to pounce on that one before any damage should be done.
Well, they'll probably keep an eye out on the Lewisville net, as most likely a goaltender will be pulled here as Lewisville searches for that all-important tying goal.
And we'll watch for Lagacé to leave his net. A minute and a half left. We'll see how early they want to pull the goalie. It looks like he's gone now. So it looks like we're going to have an empty net for Lewisville here. It was Desprez trying to send it to the middle. Now a 6-on-5. Clearing attempt. Almost caught up here by Sokolik. Stopped by Tota. Tota walking the ringette line. The backhander of the net. Bouncing puck. And it's shot away there by Mann. Here's another try. That one just whizzes wide at the hash marks. Cormier to the middle. That one picked off there by Amiro. Another try. Abuagina sending that one across to the blue line. Less than a minute to go now in the period. Sokolik around the boards now. Stopped by Desprez. Taken by Mann. He tries to rim that one up against the boards. Blocked at the line by Cuchillo. Desprez to the net. And he was looking for a deflection there from Tota. Lightning recover. Poirier to the middle. Pelletier getting a backhand on that one. Tota will send that one up to the line. Less than 30 to go. Waiting the pass in the middle. Off a foot. And outside in the middle. Cuchillo recovering. Sending that one across. Zoe McKnight unable to get to that one. Now back for Cuchillo in the middle. Lightning to get back in quick. It's Cuchillo trying to go through a pile. Now trying to remain on side. There's a pass. It's deflected outside the zone. It'll go. Dumped in. Regathered by Bayless. The shot across. One last shot here. And that will end the game. And the East Hants Penguins win a thriller here at the K Arena, taking this one by a score of 3-2. Down 2-0 originally and battled back.
What a comeback win for the Penguins.
And we invite you to stick along for our next game between the Cole Harbour Wings and the Lewisville Lightning. U11AA. Back on MST. Brain Lane, Diego Aragon, K Arena, 2026 Colin Coleman, U11 and U13 competitive tournament.